Maybe a few months, a few years. Now it's time to reinvent yourself. Remember, you're an individual first, so do something new. Maybe there was something that your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend didn't want to do, and you now have the ability to do it. So do it. I've seen people where one person is always suggesting one thing after another, and the other person either doesn't say anything, doesn't do it, or scoffs at it, or whatever it is. Now it's your time to try new things, to get out there and really, really try to do something good for yourself. All right? It's unrealistic to hope for a time when you will no longer get a twinge of sadness or hurt when that special song together comes on the radio, no matter how much time has passed. It's unrealistic. Remember, there's always going to be a little lingering of sadness. That's human nature. That's who we are. That computer in our brain, that lovely little gland that says there's going to be a time, there's going to be a place where something is going to come up. And when that happens, it's going to hurt. And it has to. It absolutely has to. I had a patient not too long ago, and we were talking about those positive memories and experiences, and he said he couldn't ever go back to Hershey Park. He goes, once he starts smelling that chocolate, he thought about the day that they got engaged. Him and his ex-wife got engaged. And he knew that it was sad. But then he got remarried, and he had a few kids, and the kids wanted to go to Hershey Park. So as a good dad, he decides, okay, let's go to Hershey Park. They get up there, he smells it, he knew he was feeling sad, but he also knew that he had these two great kids that wanted to have a great time. So he acknowledged the sadness, and he went on to the park. I had asked him if he went to Hershey Park Happy or Hershey Park Fun. He wasn't sure what that was. It is a regional reference for Hershey Park. But he did it, and he knew that was going to happen. He knew that little twinge of sadness would come back. The goal is to take back your life into your own hands and fight like mad to make it be happy. In spite of any heartbreak, any heartache you've experienced, you need to make your life happy. You are in control of it. You are the person that could say, I'm going to be happy or I'm not going to be happy. And remember, holding on to somebody is a part of our human condition. It's there. And as I talked about earlier, simple topics, things that we talk about will often bring us right back to that person, to that one that might have broken our heart or that person that stole our heart once. Remember, some of those feelings of just thinking back, we may not think of the pain of the heartbreak. We may think of that experience. We may think about those really great times that you had together and cherish that, because there are those times, even in the worst of heartbreaks, that those were some great times and times that you may have never, ever experienced with somebody else. And remember, that's okay. Heartbreak's never easy. Believe me, it's a difficult process to go through. But with persistence and some patience, you'll get through it. Don't be afraid to risk loving someone. If you've learned nothing else from me tonight, if you have learned nothing else from any of my rantings, don't be afraid to risk loving somebody. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Remember, yeah, the heart may have been made to be broken, but it's also made to be filled. Now, I don't know if Oscar Wilde ever quoted that, but I believe it. I believe that your heart is made to be filled, and that could be filled with the love of somebody else, could be the fill of something new, a passion, a hobby, whatever. But if you don't risk loving somebody, you're never going to feel that passion, that joy. All right? Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope the show helps you find the strength, courage to get through those tough times of a breakup. I know it's difficult, and I gave you a little bit of it and what you might go through, but I hope it helps. I hope it truly helps. You could always email me your thoughts. Again, Dennis at newperspectivesinc.com. But I just hope it helps. If you're going through one right now, my heart goes out to you. But it takes time. It's a process. Again, you will get through this. You will. Remember, you can follow me on the web, DennisCarradine.com, or my practice, at newperspectivesinc.com. Please, again, like my Facebook page at facebook.com/Dennis Carradine Jr. I do like those likes. And again, this week, I'm putting up at least 2 contests, one more of a regional contest, one more of a larger contest with some rules on it. So if you already like my Facebook, thank you so much. That is so wonderful. I can't, anytime I see somebody else new that likes it, I get a little excited. I'm not going to lie. Anybody that listens to my show on Blog Talk Radio and I see another person that listens to it, it really, you're so kind. Thank you. Thank you for that. Follow me on Twitter, Dennis Carradine. Become one of my connections on linkedin.com/Dennis Carradine. And again, listen to me Wednesday nights, 10 p.m., blogtalkradio.com/Dennis Carradine. You could check out my archive shows, the podcast, on the same site, but you could also go to any of my websites and the shows on the websites themselves under radio show. You can even check it out on iTunes. So there's no escaping from my podcast. Join me next Wednesday, June 12th at 10 p.m. With my special guest, former chief of the Newcastle County Police Department, as we discuss cop shock and how police officers cope with their dangerous jobs. It's going to be a great show next week. So if you know a police officer, you work with a police officer, or even if you want to hear about it, please tune in. I think it's going to be great. Scott McLaren, who is the former chief of the Newcastle County Police Department, is an excellent guy. I've known Scott for a long time, very knowledgeable, and I think it would be well worth listening in. Again, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Be good to yourself and others. Make an effort to tell people in your life you love and care for them. Please be safe. I'm going to end tonight's show with a different song. This is a great song. Maybe it'll make you think of somebody. Thanks. I'll see you next week.
I know a girl, she gets what she wants all the time, 'cause she's fine. But for an angel, she's a hot, hot mess, make you so blind, but you don't mind, 'cause she's an uptown, get around.